action.
Hi juniors, welcome to the river. This is Mrs. Bates. I'm here with Mr. Coors and Ms. Cluse and cars driving over the covered bridge. We're going to talk to you today about how you would go out in the field to conduct water quality testing. And so we're at our first location for the purposes of this virtual field trip for you. So I hope you all enjoy it. What you see behind me, this is the North Fork of the Shenandoah River. And we are at a location that's well known to many in the southern end of Shenandoah County. We're here at the covered bridge. So just wanted to showcase a few different features that you should take note of whenever you do go out to a river or a stream to collect water quality data. The first and most important thing that you can do is have your handy dandy field data sheet and gather as much data as you can before you start testing. So what I've done here, and we can zoom in and kind of show this a little bit closer, but obviously you would have your name and the date and approximate time. I put approximately 10 o'clock in the morning because that's about when we got started with this, knowing that you're not going to finish within 10 minutes, which is totally fine. But the idea with this is you want to be as accurate as possible so that if someone else wants to replicate your particular experiment, they can come to the same location at approximately the same time and see if they observe similar or different things. So the next thing that you want to do is write the location where you're testing. Again, you want to be as accurate as possible. So on my sheet, I put North Fork of the Shenandoah River, covered bridge, Mount Jackson. That's well known to many people. You can take it a step further. I also included some GPS coordinates. That's always helpful because, again, if someone wants to replicate it, they can go to the exact location that you visited to replicate your experiment. And then you want to add any qualitative observations. So you're not collecting numerical data at this point. You're just writing down your observations. So today it's sunny, but it's pretty shaded here at the river for this time of day, which is really good. We'll talk about why that's a good thing here in a little bit when we get into some of the testing. It is humid, and I am pretty sure that it has not rained within the past 24 hours. So you want to make note of any weather event that has come through within the last 24 hours because that may help explain why you gather particular data that you may gather. And so those are all the observations. The other observations, and we're going to kind of pan out to the river, is you can kind of see there are some riffle areas, areas where the water is faster moving over rocks. You have some pooled areas or areas where it's pretty calm. And you also have some areas where it may not be classified as riffles, but you might be able to classify that as swifter moving water. It's not necessarily riffles, it's not exactly pooled, but it's somewhere in between. I can also observe, at least on this side of the bank, that I don't really notice any litter, trash, debris floating in or around the water. So those are also good things that you want to observe. The reason for that is if you notice there's a lot of litter or trash or debris, one that could help explain that, or that could help be explained by there's a rain event in the last 24 hours and it washed some debris this way. Or it could explain that this is a widely used area. People use this area a lot and leave their trash behind, and that could help explain some of the things that we're going to collect data for. After that, you want to provide a sketch, just a rough sketch. You're not getting graded on artistic ability. Trust me, I'm glad for that because my artistic rendering of where we're located is not wonderful, but it helps remind me of where I'm testing. So you want to use some landmarks around you. To this side of me is the covered bridge, and so you can see there's a large pylon basically in the water. The other pylons are off on the bank. And so that's going to be my point of reference for where I'm going to be testing. So I may be testing upriver, or I may be testing downriver from the covered bridge, but that's going to be my point of reference. For the purposes of this video today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of test in this area here. This is a test of convenience. So we have a riffle area. We definitely are going to test that for macroinvertebrates. And that's going to be our best chance for finding macroinvertebrates is here in the riffle areas. Are they hanging out in other areas? Yes, they are. But this is going to be our best shot for finding the most variety of organisms that we would anticipate on finding. It's also close to the bank, and that's also something that you need to consider when you are going out and doing field work. You want to be able to find an area that's going to be convenient for you to bring water samples back to conduct chemical tests, or in the case here in a little bit when we collect macroinvertebrates, being able to have a flat surface to work on to go through your net to make sure you're cataloging what organisms are present. So that's why we're kind of focused on this area here. In my drawing on my data sheet, I've included the whole cross-section of the river, but I've indicated with a star where I'm actually going to be testing. So that, again, if someone wants to come back and replicate your design or your experimental design, they can come to basically the same location.